So when I say goodness is strength, it's a philosophy, it's a psychology the world needs right now, okay? And it's through my own story. My life forms a case study over 28 years of how goodness is stronger, not just better ethically, but stronger than cruelty. So tune.
Jon Myers has remarkably confronted the challenges of our time. Through his journey, Jon developed the philosophy that our goodness is strength. Together, we will change the world.
So we're going to continue with the worst case of emotional abuse in history, and how I found my goodness and what the world can learn from it. Because I wouldn't be telling my story, right, if I didn't believe that there were big lessons for the world to learn from this. I mean, that's the exciting part. My own overcoming is cool, but that's work in progress. That's a struggle. The lessons are the beauty of it. It's all the beauty and the internal changes in myself, finding my goodness. So, I mean, I was hit with such an avalanche, like an unprecedented assault of, some people would be familiar with extreme narcissistic, even a psychopathic assault on my life. And what, a lot of people don't know, like, well, what would psychopathic mean? Does that only mean a serial killer? No. I mean, psychopathic is, to me, is someone who kind of takes every bit of oxygen out of the situation, who can only see at the degree of assault on another person. So no reason, no logic comes in. And they, for whatever reason, they've developed in childhood this sense that they have some entitlement to attack another person. And really don't make that leap, don't make that jump to adulthood. They have very repressed childhood emotions that somehow they believe they can take out into the world and express, as cruelly as they want, especially if they have someone who, because here's a key point, because the assault on me, which began 35 years ago, which escalated 28 years ago, key is the element of surprise, right? See, if you're basically a good person, as I believe most people are, and we have to teach and encourage that, which is why I say goodness is strength. If you're, you're shocked by that people could actually just attack you for no reason, and that's the essence of extreme narcissism. That's the essence of psychopathy, and that's why I continue. That's why I share this message, and it's coupled, by the way. And here's the real danger, because it's bad enough that attitude and that mindset exists in the culture, but it's coupled with the, our American systems, and beginning with our American legal system, okay? And so here's why, again, I'm so, inspired to speak about it, because if the premise of America is liberty and justice for all, and our actuality is 180 degrees away from that, then America is really at risk. And of course I'm referring to, African American and Black people, and all kinds of, gay and lesbian, all kinds of people who've been diminished in their rights, historically. And I'm saying it exists as a psychopathy itself, or as a real challenge, and I say this with love and respect for the American legal system, as a real challenge within our American legal system, because especially in divorce, family, decisions, in lots of ways, decisions are based on, a lot of times, on arrogance, not knowing, not having the requisite care, the appropriate care for the decision when you, as another human being, are deciding on a human being's lives. And so, you couple those, you combine that extreme narcissistic psychopathic attitude with problems in our system, legal, and as I say and the new America extends to healthcare, media, financial systems, all over. It's an attitude. And so when all this came about, this became, I said, you're not going to run me over. I had, as I say, like 4 grandparents going back to Scranton, and who gave me like a strength and a family upbringing, but it has a lot beyond that. A lot I had to learn on my own. And I said, basically, when I say goodness, I had a premise that things ought to be fair. And you weren't going to treat me unfairly when it had to do with my children or family or just my very essence as as a human being. So that's where, I had to stand, and I've chosen to stand toe-to-toe with some of these monsters for 28 years, all in the name of fairness and all in the name of goodness. And so over the course of 28 years, I've grown immeasurably as a person, gotten stronger, mature, gentler, determined, not stubborn, all kinds of things that I've learned. And I'm saying what happened to me, maybe on the extreme end between narcissism, psychopathy, and our legal, divorce and all that, but it could happen to you. It could happen to anyone. And that's why through our training, coaching, and mediation, I'm proactively helping people to find their goodness and also their purpose and develop that. Find, develop, and then another key is to communicate it appropriately and assertively. A lot of people think there's only aggressive or passive. And the magical, why I call my philosophy a magical philosophy, is because it's finding that third way, the assertive route, where you're not being overly aggressive, you're not just letting it go, you're kind of standing in there and calmly and appropriately asserting what's best for, what your interests are. So when you go to our website, you'll see this, and that's what this is all about. It's helping companies, families, and individuals find their goodness, find their purpose, because I don't know everything, folks, but I know if you don't develop this attitude, these forces out there, they exist. And one way or another, they find a way to tear people down. And so I'm taking all the lessons of what I've learned, like billions of them, and sharing them with the world and helping people, training companies, families, and individuals to say, we've got to get this philosophy. We've got to develop our goodness and be resolute in this day and age.